Okay, everyone. Right, welcome everyone to Medicine Buddha Practice. Welcome to everyone who's new, joining us for the first time. Um, this will be a guided practice, and everything that you will need will appear in the chat box as well. So, all the mantras and so forth will be there. Welcome back to everyone who's joined us before. Happy spring as well, and all of that. So, so we'll continue, with our practice, and I want to add just a few, like this, maybe just one thing, one element to the practice as well, and this will be just a little more sound practice. So I think as we've shifted into a new season, I think what's really helpful too is to add more practices that really help energy move around, to distribute a little more in the body. Sound is a really great way to do that. Of course, mantra is, of course, a really important sound practice. But we're going to add a little more to the mantra tonight. But, well, a little more to the first mantra, to Om Mela Sangye Kino Soha, and really start working with that a little more deeply as well. So as we begin, please go ahead and start adding any prayer requests and to the chat box. If you would like for me to offer those publicly, please do go ahead and start doing that now. We'll continue, with our work around prayer as well. I know that for many of us, this past week has been really difficult, particularly given the shootings here on this land I'm in right now, in Atlanta, Muskogee Creek land. Just all the violence that we're experiencing, on top of the fatigue, the trauma, and the grief from the pandemic that's still happening. Of course, there's the suffering, the things that we've been struggling with even before the pandemic, so that's something for us also to continue to work with. And as usual, we want to really come into a relationship with this practice, with the practice and the tradition of Medicine Buddha, where we're just offering, what we can't hold for ourselves to the spaciousness of the deity, right? That spaciousness in this practice, is our spaciousness. Medicine Buddha is an expression of our own innate wisdom, or of our own innate spaciousness. So when we're practicing deities like this, we're just being reminded of who and what we are. There's this incredible spaciousness within our own experience. There's this incredible wisdom and clarity and love and kindness and compassion, within our own experience, that we're trying to just remember and allow it to kind of radiate, and allow ourselves to embody that as well. That this is all here all the time. That practice helps us to remember the space, and to allow ourselves to be held by the space. The space itself is an expression of the deity. So when space opens and arises, it is the deity awakening. It's the deity becoming present for us. But the deity is always present. You know, regardless of if we know that or not, the deity is always present for us. So I think practices like this just remind us, it turns our attention back to this space expression of the deity. We've been talking a little bit about stillness, so I'm going to do a little bit with stillness at the end, just moving into the stillness, this expression, this innermost expression of the deity, which is stillness. And the stillness is expressed even within movement. So there's this state, the reality of stillness, that it's like a heartbeat of all phenomena reality, the stillness. We're training ourselves to tune into that stillness, right? The stillness within our own experience, how that stillness is present around us, and how everything at its core is an expression of stillness. So even now we can begin to turn our minds into that stillness. You may not know where it is, you may not sense it, and that's fine. But to begin with, we just develop the intention. We have the intention to tune into the stillness. You can't do anything without an intention. Particularly in tantric and vajrayana practice, we need the intention to guide, to create the form for the practice, to hold a movement towards a certain experience. So our attention becomes to touch into the stillness, but that stillness, again, is the heartbeat of phenomenal reality. The stillness is the heartbeat of the deity. And that stillness is it's all the deities. It's all the wisdom deities. It's not just Medicine Buddha, it's Tara, it's Chenrezig, it's, the Dharma protectors, and so forth and so on. That's the heartbeat of all wisdom deities. And wisdom deities are expressions of our own wisdom, of our own minds, right? They emerge from the energy of space itself. Of course, there are worldly deities as well, beings who are quite powerful, connected to this world that we can be in relationship with. They're not necessarily enlightened, but they can be beneficial and wonderful. And also, they don't have to be beneficial at all. Sometimes really beneficial worldly deities take on the expression of a wisdom deity. So this is also really important too, because sometimes when we practice Medicine Buddha together, I invite you to imagine Medicine Buddha as an expression of the archetypal healer for you, or the universal healer for you, and whatever that means. What does the healer mean, and what does the healer look like for you, right? And that opens the door for, particularly a worldly deity to express themselves as Medicine Buddha, as the healer, and that's fine as well. That's fine. Because when we are practicing in relationship to the wisdom expression of Medicine Buddha, that expression creates a container, it creates boundaries that only actually allow beings with deep bodhicitta or a deep wish to be of help, to be within the field of practice. So it's like practicing in a very lit room, and if you're, so it's like I have this light in front of me, so it pushes back shadow, right? And that light is the essence of the wisdom deity of medicine Buddha, for this, in this case, the medicine Buddha. So the light of medicine Buddha actually dispels the darkness, and the only beings that can come into this field are beings that are themselves expressions of the same light. Right, so going back to the stillness. So we'll begin our practice, and I'll come back into the prayer request in a moment. But we're going to begin with developing aspiration or developing an intention for practice. So go ahead and do that. Just begin to reflect on why you're practicing and who you're practicing for. Of course, who you're practicing for will include some of the prayers that you've offered. And if your breath is accessible for you tonight, I invite you to just shift your attention just to the breath. Very light attention, just noticing the in breath and the out breath, not changing the breath at all, just noticing. And shifting down to the heart center. Imagine we're breathing in and out of the heart center. We begin to now reflect on gratitude. So reflecting on something or someone you're grateful for, or reflecting on all the kindness and labor that's been offered to us for our well-being. Allowing that energy of gratitude to begin to awaken within the heart center. course, allowing this energy of gratitude to begin to fill the body. Imagining that energy of gratitude being something that feels appropriate for you, or imagining it to be something that is appropriate for you. Like imagining it maybe that it's light filling the body, or warmth, or something else that feels creative for you. Or just simply saying that your body is filling with this energy of gratitude is actually enough as well. And shifting down to the seat, noticing the weight of the body making contact with the seat. Allowing this sensation of gravity to hold your body, to gently hold your attention. And we shift down even deeper into the earth, through our attention touching to the energetic expression of the earth itself. Now sending some of this energy of gratitude down into the earth. As if we're practicing being thankful for the earth. We imagine as we offer this gratitude into the earth begins to awaken and begins to transition from its wintering into its spring energy. So it begins to awaken, becomes vibrant and dynamic and living. Imagining that this is happening on the land all over the world, or maybe just the land we're sitting on right now. But in our energetic minds, in our imaginative minds, the earth awakens. We feel that energy of awakening. The energy of living, the energy of light, the energy of life. We begin to imagine that we're breathing down into this vibrant, awakening energy of the earth. So as we inhale all the way down through the body, down into the earth. Our inhale touches into the earth. As we exhale, we begin to imagine that our exhaled breath begins to pull this energy, to lift this energy of awakening earth into the body. So breathing down into the earth, exhaling, pulling that energy up into the body, and slowly we begin to imagine our bodies filling up to capacity with this energy of life, the spring energy of awakening, of light, of movement, of fluidity. So getting to a point where we feel ourselves really filled with this energy. And we turn our minds to our first mantra, Om. Nila Sange Kino Soha. So here are the instructions for the mantra tonight, for this first mantra. So first, as our bodies and as well as our minds are filling with this life energy, this awakened energy of the earth, I invite you to shift your attention and just notice some part of your experience that needs this kind of infusion of this awakening energy. Maybe there's some grief, some fatigue, some sadness, maybe some experience of trauma that needs support, that needs some attention. So shifting your attention to that experience. We begin to imagine as we begin the mantra that the mantra begins to resonate within that experience itself, as if the mantra is beginning to somehow transform, to loosen, to disrupt that experience somehow for you. And as that experience begins to be disrupted, we also begin to experience that this energy of awakened earth, or this awakened energy, begins to flow deeply into that experience that's being disrupted by the mantra. So just thinking about that just for a few moments, chanting the mantra resonating, disrupting maybe the heaviness of this experience that you're focusing on. And then when that experience is disrupted, the energy, this awakened energy from the earth begins to flood into that experience, beginning to water it, beginning to tend to it, to begin to support it. Just thinking about that just for a few more moments. Just imagine what that could be like. Almost as if you're rehearsing it in your mind. Right? Now I want you to let go of trying to figure out how to do that piece of the practice, because our reflection and our thinking about it over the past few moments has programmed the flow of energy in the practice. So don't think about it, don't try to do it. It's already been programmed. However, we're going to turn our attention back to the mantra. And what I want you to focus on is just imagining the mantra just resonating, reverberating within that experience of discomfort that you've identified. Okay? And so now, the mantra itself, Om Mela Sangye Kino Soha, we're going to begin and end the mantra with chanting the syllable Om. So we'll begin with Om, chanting that for as long as you can. And then again, chanting Mela Sangye Kino Soha, going into the same mantra. And then ending the mantra with a long extended again. Until you run out of breath, okay? So after we do it we're going to do it 3 times. And that way, after the first time, you'll get it, okay? So we'll begin again, paying attention, noticing the discomfort, allowing that mantra to resonate within that experience while the energy of awakened energy begins to move into it. But we're not going to think about moving that energy. It's just going to happen on its own. Okay? So we'll begin again with Om. Om Mela Sangye Kino Soha. Okay, twice more. Beginning with Om. Om Mela Sangye Kino Soha. One more time. Om La Sangye Ki no Zoha Om. Coming back to a natural breath. So again, turning our attention to this awakened energy that we can still continue to breathe up into the body from the earth, filling our bodies, filling our minds with this energy of awakenedness. And we begin to imagine that we're radiating this energy, this awakened energy from our bodies into the space around us, as if we are stars, or the sun itself radiating this light, this energy to the space around us. Allowing ourselves to sit, just simply sit and be within this energy of this awakened energy. Our bodies and minds glowing and radiating. This radiation of light being the essence of healing energy itself. Allowing ourselves to sit in this energy, to be held by this energy. We begin to imagine that we are the healer, we're the great healer, sitting and radiating this energy of healing into the world around us, trusting this energy of healing, relying on this energy of healing to take care of us. So as we allow ourselves to sit within this radiance of healing, we begin to offer our community prayer requests. We begin to offer our prayers into this essence of the healer. We offer prayers for Gabrielle mourning the loss of her daughter Lisa, who will be leaving the Bardo this week, and for Miriam, Raja, and Esther, and the loss of Anna, also leaving the Bardo. Tom Crana, Viva Keller, my friends Kelly and Nancy with heart problems, for my shoulder that doesn't need surgery, but is still quite painful in the moment. Offering prayers for Doreen to experience relief from pain both physically and emotionally. We offer prayers to starting to dissolve my defenses and allow myself to accept and embody love. Offering prayers for all sex workers to experience respect, safety, and be honored in their dignity. Offering prayers for our Asian community members, their hearts and spirits, that we may defeat white supremacy in all its incarnations. And offering prayers for Penny. Offering prayers for broken hearts to be blessed with the capacity to work for racial justice, and prayers for all harmed by hate and violence. Prayers for our sacred earth. Offering prayers for Linda, who is set to retire March the 1st, who had a severe stroke on March 6th and whose husband died unexpectedly on March 16th. Offering prayers to finding the right medication that will finally treat my bipolar and I can afford it. Offering prayers to all those who have been harmed by the violence of racism and white supremacy. Offering prayers for my friends Beatrice and Ramel as their child enters the earthly realm this weekend. Prayers that my doctor's appointment tomorrow bring clarity and a path toward healing and resolution. Offering prayers for those who died at the hands of violence, that they may successfully transition through the bardo. Offering prayers for healing, love, and solidarity with my Asian and Pacific Islander friends, family, and loved ones, and outward to their beloveds and communities. Offering prayer for a successful transition for my mom from hospital to dementia unit at the end of this week. Offering prayers for Marie Day, who died traumatically. Offering prayers for everyone struggling to receive love and healing more deeply. Offering prayers for Mike and Maddie, who are grieving. Offering prayers for my creative liberation. And offering prayers for Sally in the early stages of her pregnancy. Offering prayers for Hunter, who is experiencing extreme hardship and disconnect from community. Offer prayers for Chris's mother, who is experiencing difficulties from the vaccine shot. Offering prayers for Mike that he may find his way towards love and peace in his practice. Offer prayers for all those gathered here tonight for your deepest well-being, joy, for your deep experience of healing and connection to the great healer. Offer prayers for the land, for its liberation from its own trauma, and for a deeper connection, that we may experience a deeper connection to it and its dynamic, awakened energy. I pray that all beings transitioning into the bardo and the spirit realm have no obstacles, that they meet whatever conditions are favorable for their transition through the spirit world into whatever is next for them. I pray for the healing of all those of us who are still deeply being impacted by COVID-19. Continue to pray in the spirit of Medicine Buddha that all systems of violence, harm, abuse, hierarchy, and power be completely disrupted, so we all may experience liberation within this realm. We offer all of these prayers, including all the unspoken prayers in our community, into the essence, the stillness of the great healer. We turn our attention to our mantra, Te Taum Baconse, Maha Baconse, Rasa Sumungate Soha. as we're being taken care of by this energy, this awakened energy, we begin to imagine that we are also transmitting this awakened energy into the lives and the experiences of those we've offered prayers for. That we channel the energy of the awakened earth and the dynamic energy of the great healer into the lives, bodies, and minds and situations of all those standing in the need of liberation. O te atam begenze ma begenze rasa sumunga te soa te atam begenze ma sua te ata umbe kenze mabe kenze raza sumunga te so ha. And moving back into 3 more ohms, just the ohms, chanting with me. As we transition out of the practice, we maintain our connection to the earth, our connection to this awakened energy. And as we slowly begin to transition, we begin to imagine that the whole earth around us is awakened in spring with colors and fragrances and plants and animals and insects and sunshine. And that we ourselves become a part of that awakening as well, that we are awakening with the land. And we ask and pray to the great healer, to Medicine Buddha, to be guided into the experience of stillness. Baconze, baconze, ma baconze, rasa sumu, kate, so may the peace and blessings and revolutionary healing of the great healer be with you. May you continue to offer this healing to all beings connected to you in this life, in the bardo, and in all our lives to come until we achieve enlightenment and become the Buddha. Now we transition to Shantideva's prayer to close out our evening. Again, we'll repeat this 3 times. We'll begin. May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader to those who struggle, leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space. May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all the sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach unto the ends of space. And finally, may I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine. May I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space. Thank you all so much for your practice tonight. Please continue to join us for any program that seems appropriate. I'll be offering our Wednesday night talk for Bhumi Sparsha Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please join us for that if you can. Okay. And until we meet again, may we all be well, and may you have everything that you need. And I just continue to invite you to keep going, to keep moving forward in your practice, in your life, in your grieving, and in the morning, keeping the heart open, though it is painful, to continue to experience everything that is ours to experience, including the anger and the rage, to ask for help when we need it, to rely on our communities, to rely on our loved ones, to rely on the deity, and also to rely on ourselves. May you and your ancestors and your kin and your descendants all be blessed. Thank you. Okay. All right.